Away we go, my fine friends out there. Welcome to Matchday -1. It is presented by PointsBet, founding partner of Austin FC, as we welcome you into St. David's Performance Center. Adrian Healey and my strike partner, Mr. Michael Lahoud, and we are feeling mighty fine. The month of August is here, and that means a whole lot of home cooking for our VERDE and Black 4 out of 5 games in the month of August. I'm so excited, Michael. I got my Tejas is Verde shirt on because Texas is no longer a red state. It's a Verde state, and now we're going to be trying to paint the rest of the Western Conference Verde as well. And we got a great chance to do it this month.
Well, you're looking mighty Verde yourself, Mr. H. And for all the businesses Austin FC has done on the road, it's all about what you do at home, and they have a great chance to rectify that term, the Fortress, here at Q2 Stadium, starting with this weekend.
We will reinvestigate that term, won't we, the Fortress. So lots to get to today. We'll preview the San Jose game in just a few minutes. But first of all, it is actually our last show before the MLS All-Star game. So let's talk a little MVP, shall we? Because our number 7 is a bit of footballing heaven, isn't he? Mr. Sebastian Driussi, named Player of the Month again by MLS. He's the only player to get that award twice this season, in April and July, for those of you keeping count. Team of the Week, I've almost lost count how many times he's been in the Team of the Week. But seriously, what a July he had. 5 goals and 3 assists in 6 games in July, and he has to be the front runner right now, sitting here in the first week of August, has to be the front runner, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Talking with some of our colleagues at Major League Soccer, the first name out of their mouths isn't Gareth Bale, it's Sebastian Driussi.
Right.
Because he's the complete package. There's an enigma about him about, is he a second striker? Is he an attacking midfielder? Is he a center midfielder? This guy is a match winner. It doesn't matter where you put him. He figures out a way to influence the game. We've seen that on the road, and we continue to see it here at Q2 Stadium. When you need a goal, when you need a big moment, Sebastian Driussi is who you call on.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Like trying to narrow down and drill down on what makes him so special. I couldn't help myself, Michael, last week when he scored the second. I used the phrase half ballerina, half assassin. But to me, I couldn't think, because he's a player that encapsulates both sides of the game just perfectly. The artistic side. Yeah. But the killer instinct and ruthless side too.
That last goal in the Sporting Kansas City game, that game was done and dusted.
Right.
SKC had missed the penalty kick, and really Brad Stuver stepping up. But you have to have that cutting edge about you that some of the best players around the world, not just Major League Soccer have, but around the world, to sense that the knockout blow is coming. It's not done yet. It's coming.
Yeah.
He sensed that in one swift movement. Not only does he recognize where the space is with Diego Fagundes, drawing out 2 players towards him, but then the commitment to run in the box. His arrival in the box is what he's been doing well since he got to the city of Austin. His timing of runs and his execution in the final third, he just finished it to a plumb. And on that finish, I think the details is what makes him different. He surprises the goalkeeper.
He does,
with a quick release.
Yeah.
He takes a graceful first touch, but then the quick release. Most players do not do that in Major League Soccer, but he does.
Yeah, Pulskamp was kind of he was watching the keeper. Pulskamp was rooted and couldn't react. He didn't need to be a hard shot to beat him, did it?
It's almost like he's playing video games with the opponent and playing mind games.
Yeah.
And your goal call was to the T, and after the goal, what does he do? A little bailar.
Exactly. So it's been a real treat watching him, and again, you talk to everyone around here, coaching staff, players here at St. David's, and it's not just what he does himself; it's what he brings to the table and what he brings out of others around him as well.
Well, he to be an MVP, you need to make not only yourself better, but the team and the locker room and the culture. Yeah. He is at the cornerstone alongside Alex Ring, guys like Hector Jimenez, Ethan Finley, MLS veterans, but you need a special talent to be able to have the success that Austin FC has had. And really, as Austin FC's success goes, so will the MVP race go for him this season. But he's committed and he's hungry. His hunger to score goals. Josh Wolf talked a lot about that to us, and you're seeing it in real time.
Yeah. So after the San Jose game, he'll get on a plane, fly to Minnesota, be part of the festivities next week for the All-Star game. He'll be there the whole week. He'll be part of the skills challenge on Tuesday. I know you're going up, Michael, as well. What awaits him up there? Because he had a kind of little twinkle in his eye today when we asked him a little bit about what to expect. Because it's a new experience for him. I mean, it's always the case for international players coming here. They've never encountered an All-Star game before. It's his first. I think he's genuinely curious as to what this experience is going to be like.
Well, I asked him, Seba, how many goals are you going to score this time? He's a man for the big occasion, but this is an event to really celebrate his personal achievement and celebrate the much-deserved accolades and the attention he's getting. He's a team player, and I expect him to deliver on the biggest stage so far in the MLS season against the Liga MX All-Stars. And he's no stranger to playing against this caliber of opposition.
Yeah.
He did that while playing for River Plate in Argentina. So he won't be just overwhelmed by the big occasion. I think he'll have one eye on the moment, but the other eye on Austin FC and getting back to business.
And I know he's going to enjoy the previous night, the skills challenge,
Yeah.
which has come back just recently, hasn't it, to the All-Star game. And it's going to be interested to see what they have them do.
Oh, man, he's the perfect player for that. Now, I'm so happy not only did they have him as an all-star selection, but to have him in his element in the Skills Challenge. We get to see it here at St. David's Performance Center week in and week out. A couple nutmegs, a couple back heels. Now, the rest of the world gets to see it.
Yeah. Wonder if there's going to be a Rabona part to the Skills Challenge. You would hope.
He's
going to win that.
It's how many? he's done it in real time against the league leaders right now in LAFC.
Yeah.
Game-winning assist. This guy can do it all.
And it continues the sort of evolving relationship between MLS and Liga MX. Second year in a row they're playing the Liga MX All-Stars. And really just a prelude to what's coming next year, Michael, which I know both of us are really excited about. It's part of the new Apple TV deal as well, the Leagues Cup competition. The league is going to stop for a month next summer and play a full World Cup style competition with every team from MLS and Liga MX.
It's really that marching towards 2026 and a prelude to just the convergence of the beautiful game here in North America. And it doesn't get any bigger than the United States, MLS, and Liga MX in Mexico really putting their brain trust together to form something really beautiful in the summer. Yeah,
and I think that's going to be really special here. I think Austin fans should be all over it when it happens. Basically a year from today, we'll be sat here talking about the Leagues Cup. But what we have to sit here and talk about today is the prospect of the San Jose Earthquakes in town. It's a fascinating prospect, isn't it? Because they're a team Austin have never actually beaten in their short history. 4 tries. They've had big leads against the Earthquakes twice, 2-goal leads. That hasn't stood up. But they get them at home. They get them at the start of a month where Q2 form is going to be. They're looking to rediscover their Q2 form. And it could very well start tomorrow night, couldn't it?
And what a difference a year makes. They're getting a San Jose team who's desperate.
Yeah.
Their seasons, frankly, are on the line. There's no mistaking that. I've been there as a player where you blink and it's crunch time and it's do or die. So if you're an Austin FC player, if you're on the field at Q2 Stadium, patience is a virtue. You don't have to win the game in the first 5 minutes, but you're going against a chaotic team who expect the unexpected because they've done that, especially here against the VERDE Black.
Yeah. And that's a word that keeps on being used when you talk about the San Jose Earthquakes. What was it? Josh Wolf said to us just a few minutes ago, a can of chaos. That's what you get. Probably a 6-pack of chaos. But you don't, as you said, there are chaotic teams in this league. He mentioned DC United. He mentioned the New York Red Bulls. Two pretty chaotic games. We won one of those, lost one. Don't want to get into that sort of battle with San Jose tomorrow night, do we?
And I think a similarity in both of those difficult matchups against DC and the New York Red Bulls was how we started the match expansive in both of those games. One being on the road, one being at home. But back to that Red Bulls match, we got away a little bit from managing the first 15, 20 minutes, knowing that it's going to be helter-skelter all over the place. I think Austin FC will have learned their lesson going up against that style of play, and revenge will be on their minds because they owe the San Jose Earthquakes team, especially early in the season, what happened in April.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of words used a lot around this building this week in terms of getting back to winning ways consistently at home. Intent and intensity. And I think, it's a huge credit to what the stadium is and what the fan base is. That I think some of the players have said it. At times they've come out and just the fact they're at home almost is going to be enough by itself. Well, it isn't, because teams aren't going to roll over and let you have it. But they are just chomping at the bit to rediscover that home intensity we saw at the start of the year.
Well, when you see the electric atmosphere and our colleagues that come here to Austin, not just to take in the city itself, but to take in the soccer atmosphere at Q2 Stadium, they're wowed. It goes the same for the opponents. Every opponent that comes in here wants to spoil the party. Yeah. Because Q2 Stadium is a party. Oh, collective. I'm talking about you. But for Austin FC, this is where your game management comes to fruition. Is sometimes it's counterintuitive of being patient, letting the ball do the work, making your opponent move. Against Houston Dynamo FC, they did that. Houston wanted to spoil the party, slow the game down, make it disruptive. For 45 minutes, they did that. But second half, changes were made. And that fluid, dynamic nature, getting numbers in the box, Danny Pereira getting on the field, it just changed things up. Gaps open up. Goals are scored.
So the bare facts are these. San Jose second bottom, Austin second top in the West. We're still the top goal scorers in the league. San Jose have conceded the most goals. They let in a lot and they score a lot. They've actually scored the most goals of pretty much any team outside of the playoff picture, but they've conceded the most with the exception of DC. So goals could very much be in the air on Saturday night.
Well, outside of one match, we know one thing about this matchup. There will be goals.
Yeah.
And for Austin FC, it's limiting San Jose's attacks and limiting it from becoming a track meet. This is a San Jose team that their attack is led by two players, Christian Espinoza and Jeremy Abobasi. As Christian Espinoza goes, I know stats are the new talking point, XGs. They just drive my head crazy, but it doesn't take away from the focal point of a team like San Jose. Espinoza is quietly having himself a good season, and he's been a thorn in Austin FC's side in all these matchups.
Can you remember, was it Christian Espinoza that Julio Cascante rolled off the field last year in that 4-3 game, and he then rolled back on? Was that Espinoza? I can't remember who it was. I have that. Yes,
I do remember that.
Yeah. So one meeting earlier this year, 2-2 in San Jose. Remember, Austin were up 2-0 in that game. Yeah. Danny Pereira with that long run to win the penalty for the second after the Maxi Urruti golazo.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of people talk about what are the goals of the year for Austin. Let's not forget that one, Urruti's first ever goal for the club from, 35 yards?
Yeah, it could have well been 40 yards. Yeah. Probably, if you add up the 10 yards, I staggered back from the TV screen in awe. Just almost pulled that out of his quiver and slingshot it in the top corner. But this is a game, and looking back to that game, it was a game where the San Jose team, they can build momentum out of anywhere.
Yeah.
And they're a team that once they get half a chance or a close shot or a close opportunity, all of a sudden there's nothing to lose. They just throw numbers forward, and they want to make it chaotic. They thrive in chaos. And look at the manager they had, Matias Almeida, before.
Yeah.
It was a few years of chaos soccer, and he dubbed it heavy metal soccer, but it was super chaotic. So you are what you know. Right. And they go back to that when they are uncertain.
And we don't know this for sure, but for the second week in a row, we may well be facing a backup goalkeeper. JT Marcinkowski came off with a concussion against Miami. We don't know his status, but chances are, if it was a concussion, we're going to see Bassano play tomorrow. It'll be his first ever start in MLS at the age of 29. So,
well, has he seen a Sebastian Driussi long range strike before? Because he might be seeing quite a few of them. We talked with Josh Wolf about what goes into testing a goalkeeper who's inexperienced, and he said lots of shots, but also lots of crosses. Young goalkeepers tend to struggle with crosses because you have to be consistent, but you also have to be assured when you come to collect. One half chance getting it wrong, your night's done.
Right. Well, I've already told you what my August anticipation mood is. Wearing the Verde shirt, but give us a little feel and a little prelude to something we'll get into on tomorrow night's broadcast, and that is what's always awaited: the Lahoud mood heading into San Jose. What are you feeling?
Well, I'm going to give you a little nibble of the pre-mood as always. Matchday -1. If you can't get the real thing, you might as well get the pre-mood thing. And for today's Lahoud mood, the mood is confident. And I'm confident because Austin FC they've earned the right to be confident. And now for them to be confident and put in a confident display to get 3 points, they'll have to do these two general things. Number one, sustain their attacks.
Yep.
In that first 60, 65 minutes against San Jose Earthquakes, they were all over him. They didn't know what to do because sustaining attacks limits transition opportunities for your opponents. San Jose wants to make it open-ended, track meets. They will throw a ton of numbers forward. For Austin FC, sustaining attacks, switch of play will keep them pinned in. And second, it goes back to that C word, chaos. You want to stay organized. The VERDE Black, when they set their attack up, when they have good build-up and keep that organization, they're just a force to be reckoned with. When they get stretched and it becomes end-to-end, that's when they've kind of found themselves in trouble. They have the individual quality to get out of trouble, but they don't want to make this game based on individual moments.
Yeah. You know what gives me a lot of confidence to add to your confident mood is the way this team has produced in the last 30 minutes of games this season. And we talk a lot about the fitness and the training goes into playing in this heat. If this game is still close at 60 minutes, I have so much confidence that this team is going to find a way to put San Jose on their knees and be clinging on at the end.
Well, full credit to Dave Tenney and his staff for working with the players and getting the buy-in. I remember that as a player. You can get all the help, all the tech, all the processes in the world, but if you don't buy in, it does you zero good. And that's part of the culture that's being built here at St. David's Performance Center, and it translates to results in Major League Soccer and Q2 Stadium. And just one step further, for Austin FC, this is a San Jose team that gives up goals late. In their last 6 matches, they've taken the lead. They have no problem scoring early. So look out for San Jose trying to get that early goal to stifle Austin FC's momentum. But like you said, they're going up against an attack that doesn't mind leaving it late to find that goal. That could be the difference maker if it's 0-0 going late.
I share your confidence. Normally stay away from the predictions business. It's a mug's business, but I haven't been as confident in a home game as I have for a long, long time. I think we get back to where we were in April. Remember how almost routinely we beat the Vancouver Whitecaps at the end of April. I see this as that sort of game. Hope I'm right.
It's almost a sense of order restored. In the attack and the fluidity, having Brad Stuver back and the massive penalty kick save, that's confidence boosting, not just for him. And you know Brad's going to be solid, but for the back line. Getting that 0 was crucial for them in the build-up to this run-in at home. Getting back to maintaining zeros, that's going to be pivotal.
Good stuff. Can't wait. We'll finish with a moment of gratitude. We try and spread the love and shine a light on other areas of the club that may not be as immediately apparent to all of you. And I wanted to give a shout out this week to Sam Lawson and Mac Orr and all of the Austin FC video analysis team. Did a podcast with Sam earlier this year, so I was able to give him some exposure. But a lot of people don't realize how much work they do in terms of helping the team prepare for every match, and they help us prepare for every match, quite frankly, with great video presentations on what the opponent is likely to do. It's fabulous stuff, isn't it?
Well, we said in a previous broadcast, having video analysis is part of the modern era of the game. And as a player, you're a fool not to take advantage of it. And we're blessed here to have the likes of Mac and Sam, their experience at different levels. And really, it's been cool to see their teamwork. Certain members of the staff, they hone in and clue in on certain opponents. Obviously, Sam with his track record of Minnesota United. It's always a big occasion, I know, for him personally. But they're the unsung heroes, I believe, of this run-in that we have with Austin FC this season. Yeah,
and they almost embody the hard work we've seen on the field. Some of the hours off the field are extraordinary, by the way. Sam is often working late into the night. So great shout-out for them, our video production team. And just remains to be seen. Hope you can join us if you're not in the stadium with us tomorrow. Can't wait to actually spend a lot of Saturday nights in August. Well, there's some Fridays and some Wednesdays too, but feels like Q2 is going to be finally our home for a significant stretch, starting with an 8 o'clock game as well tomorrow, which is good to get back to that prime time. We played a lot of 8 o'clock games last year, not so many this year, Michael.
Order restored. Like I said, hopefully order continues to be restored on the field and in the booth now. So looking forward to it. So kickoff at 8. We're with you on the CW starting at 7:30 for a full half-hour pre-game show as well with our colleagues Sonny Guadarrama and Roger Valdivieso. Hope you can join us for that and look forward to seeing you tomorrow, sir. Yeah, as always.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks for being with us for Matchday -1. We'll talk to you tomorrow.